Pastor Steve here. In chapter 3, 18 and 19, Apostle Paul continues his thought. He says, "For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Christ, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things." Having shown us the example in verse 17, a proper way to conduct ourselves, to be good examples, people who have a living faith, who are doers. Now he says, look, there's others who don't do that, who don't follow a good example, who don't set a good example. They live for themselves. And if you live for yourself, he said, habitually, it's a pretty sure sign you're not living for Jesus. You don't get God's grace. Paul used strong words here. Look at them, enemies of the cross. Jesus died to take away my sin. And he doesn't want me to just pray a prayer and wear a cross, but live as if that sacrifice was for nothing. The power of the cross is a transformative power, isn't it? If any man's in Christ, he's a new creation. All things are passed away. He says those people, we call them hypocrites, who say one thing and do another consistently are self-deluded. They look in the mirror, then walk off and don't shave their face or whatever. That God is their belly. The New Living Translation puts it there. God is their appetite. They brag about shameful things, and they think only about now, only about life on this earth. None of that put others first that they've been exhorted to. The now-centeredness or secular-centeredness leads to following after my own desires. Timothy said, flee your youthful desires, but follow righteousness and love and peace. Verse 18, to choose to live like the world, I think is an affront to the Lord who bought me. Don't get all intense here. I understand that grace saves us just as we are. We can do nothing to earn it, nothing to keep it. It's a gift of God. But it brings us alive and makes us on the path to holiness. What he's saying is, if you claim to be a child of the King, then be a child of the King. There was a rather pompous-looking deacon trying to impress upon the junior boys the importance of living the Christian life. And he said, "Boys, why do people call me a Christian?" Got really quiet for a minute. Then one of the boys said, "Well, maybe it's because they don't know you." Now you ponder that. Pastor Steve.